Hello, I'm Jacob, and I'm the creative director for Scopium Studios.
Hello, I'm Adam, and I'm the project manager for Scopium Studios.
Hello, I'm Brian. I'm a 3D artist.
Hi, I'm Hamza. I do programming and the social media.
Hi, I'm Daniel Wahid. I'm the 3D artist and the animator for the project.
So first, we're going to talk about save components, as we've done a lot of work this week.
Yeah, so in the past week, we've been reworking how the save system works. So we've now changed it to a component-based system from what it was, which was previously just hard saving values, hard-coded. So now if we want to save something in the game, it's as simple as making a component for whatever item or data we're saving, and it makes the system a lot more modular and reusable and a lot more expansible than the previous iteration.
You want to say what some of the components you've done are?
Yes, so in the past week, I've worked on the save components for the player, data logs and lore that you can find around in the map.
You do the watch as well?
Yeah, the watch as well. Yeah, the watch was one.
So now your logs on the watch are saved.
Yeah.
I know personally, I did some of the inventory. So the entire inventory now gets saved, as well as a lot of the items that you can pick up. The ones you can drop as well, they're also saved. So that's mainly what I've been working on. I've done a lot of inventory UI tweaks as well to improve that. So now you have the button outlines are now able to change color, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Because now when you put a high tier weapon, you can make it a different color and it will display that to the player. And this is now more modular, and it's just better. I mean, I'm sure Hamza has some benefits for us of this new inventory system.
This new inventory system allows us to easily expand upon what we had. We can now add a lot more items, implement our tier system for weaponry, crafting. We can now place stuff between backpack and the current equipment. So stuff that you actually have equipped, and we can later.
Well, the idea behind that is the backpack is more static resources, which we're going to be implementing. So there is some crossover between backpack and inventory, as in you can craft items, and some items may be used as crafting resources. But they are two different menus in essence. Is there anything else anyone wants to add about that?
I think we covered everything there, Jake.
So I hear that you and Hamza have been working on some throwables.
Yeah, so in the game we plan to have a few throwables, being a Molotov, a grenade, and also a nail bomb. So me and Hamza, we've both been working together to create the system. So I'll just pass that on to Hamza.
So currently we have a system where stuff can explode. We have the barrels currently. We're implementing that into the throwable systems because a lot of things can explode, making it much more modular. Throwable items will now have their own interface, which allows us to have them all have similar components, similar logic across all these throwable items. Throwable items are saved in the inventory and can be used at any time. They can be found around the world, and they explode after a certain amount of time. Some of them can be craftable, such as the nail bomb and Molotov, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so that is correct. And just to build on what Hamza's saying, some of the throwables can be cooked. So if you don't know what that means, that basically means that you can hold for example, the grenade for a certain amount of time when you pull the pin, and throw it. So when you throw it and it detonates, it has less time in the air. But this also means that if you cook it for too long, then you might find yourself blown to smithereens.
My direct question to you is, how do you think this will improve combat in the game?
I feel it will make the combat much more versatile, and especially in how players approach encounters, being able to dispatch enemies with a well-timed grenade definitely would add to the fun factor of the game, in my opinion.
With the arc of the throwing in there, it allows a skill expression for the player, allowing them to, alongside cooking the grenade, allows them to strategically target certain areas with a throw as it curves over certain barricades or lower clearings, and it hit.
So you're suggesting you can get stealth kills with it?
Possibly.
Hide behind cover and get those kills. Alright, moving on. You've also been working on the key codes and keycards implementation for certain safes and doors.
Yes. So as we all know, we are starting to work on bunkers and looting items such as safes. So for that system, I have decided to do a opening system where you go around the world, you find a code for the safe, you go in there and you input the safe the code, and if it's correct, it opens up, you get the loot inside. If it's incorrect, it plays a little animation telling you that you've got it wrong. If you go around to a bunker, it'll have a keycard reader, and you need a keycard in your inventory, the correct keycard in your inventory to access that bunker. Without it, it'll prompt you what keycard color you require to open that bunker. For example, let's say I have a blue keycard that's required for this. If I go up to it, it'll tell me you need a blue keycard to open this door.
Yeah, I think that really helps the exploration element of our game. You now have to obviously search for these things, and it prevents it just being a complete linear game. Is there anything you want to add to that?
I would like to add it allows us to provide areas that we can add shortcuts. Previously, we have a more linear map now. We can now introduce shortcuts by having keycards and bunkers and doors, which allow the player to quickly traverse areas and lessen backtracking.
Yeah, so building on what Hamza just said, when it comes to the key cards for doors, it could just be not just for loot rooms, but like he's also insinuating, for shortcuts anywhere without the map. It allows us to definitely make the map more expansive in terms of verticality, and also the routes that the player can choose to take. You know, it's not now just one defined route, although it may seem that way. With secret routes, with the key card system, it would definitely allow the player to traverse a lot more in their own means and make them feel like they're forging their own path.
With the save system, it also encourages the player to go ahead and explore much more, because previously in our pre-alpha test, players didn't explore as much as we would hope, explore the area, look around for clues, and this would prompt them to explore and possibly start learning about the story much more as they go around looking for notes, looking for things, and pick up story notes and learn about the world more.
All right. So next, I want to talk about the rigging animation of the player, which Dan has been working on.
That was me. I've been working on animation the week that just went by. So it's obviously very complex. I've done it before, but that was in Maya. So, you know, it's a new thing for me in Blender. It wasn't that hard, to be honest. It was learning it from the beginning, getting used to how to actually rig bones, start bones, get them to connect with the arm, which is the skinning part. So the rigging, not hard, right? Skinning it together was the complex bit. So the arms that I sculpted last semester, they were very messed up when I skinned them together. So what I did was I sculpted new arms again, and I went for a high poly type, mid poly version of these arms, as they would obviously be on the camera, so the player would see it at all times. And it skinned perfectly fine. I didn't have to do no weight painting issues or anything with the arms, so that was perfectly fine. Apart from just the fingers, so you know when you close a fist, it was very janky and weird. I did fix that this week, but 2 weeks ago that was bad. That was bad. You know, I had to make new arms.
Yeah, I can imagine it's quite a challenge.
Yeah, but after the rigging, after the skinning, I did rig the gun, which is the Colt Super, and then I brought that in as well, and then put that in together with the arms. And at the moment, the player can actually hold the gun like this, so it actually works properly. And then I'm gonna start on some more actual animation. So it was very complex, but I got used to it within 2 weeks.
Sounds like a busy week, Dan.
It was a busy week.
Busy week.
Well, who else has been busy but Brian on the boss model? Perhaps you would like to talk about some of the challenges and inspiration of it?
It's been inspired by other alien things, such as from like Halo. Like when you think about the avatar with the legs, how they bend in, because some of our designs are very similar with Hamza's as Dan's created.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it visually distinct, I decided to put it in full armor, so when the player does encounter it, it will be more like, what is this thing? And
what do you think is the first thing that's going to go through a player's head when they see this boss?
What the hell am I going to do to take that out?
Do you think it's going to be quite difficult for the player?
Planning on it. I'm planning on having these tendrils that come out of the back, and they might have different abilities. Like one tendril could cast a shield in front of it to make it even tankier, while it can still fire back at the player, and could have things like just extra lasers shooting, etc. Like some couple ideas that could run through to maybe make it a more challenging boss.
So moving on to the promotional materials, we've got a lot in the works. We're developing a press kit and a Steam page. Hamza has more details on that for us.
We're not deciding to publish it on Steam. We are going to obviously do a Steam page showcasing our game, promotional video, promotional materials to others to entice them to come and wishlist and try our game. We also have a press kit to give to the press.
So what's that going to include for us?
Well, we're going to include a bit of a description of our game, a bit of gameplay, a bit of videos, and general things for the press to cover to allow them to see what our game is and quickly talk about our game. We will also do other promotional materials such as posters, 3D prints of certain things, keychains, and other such things that will put in our game to promote our game and to show off what we have inside there.
And that Steam page is really going to let us do that.
Yes.
So as part of our marketing, we really want to direct our users to get wish lists, and the Steam page is going to allow us to do that.
Alongside that, we're also going to have our social medias. Obviously, we have our lovely Twitter. We also have our YouTube, which you're going to be looking at.
Yeah, we also want to do a lot of trailers as well. We want to really show our game off, especially on the Steam page. On the Steam page, we need to develop some capsule art.
Yeah.
But once it's out there, we really will have more of an identity for our game, which at the moment is a little hard to encapsulate or show off. Is there anything else you want to add about the push materials? Are you really excited to make anything?
Oh, I'm definitely excited to do the Steam page. Alongside the models, I'm very excited to give each.
We've got some collectibles, don't we? Brian can talk
That's
a
the
little bit
3D
about
printed
that.
stuff, yeah.
Oh, the 3D printing stuff.
Yeah.
So we're planning on 3D printing some key objects within the game that goes with the game's identity, such as we're planning on 3D printing the barrel, the boss model that's currently in development, Jacob's duck.
Oh yeah,
model.
the duck. We didn't talk about the duck.
We can talk about the duck a little bit if you guys want.
Yeah.
So the idea of the duck is it's a great piece. So it ties back into our throwables that we talked about earlier, and the idea behind that is that you're going to be able to throw it and it will do exactly 1 hit point of damage. And eventually, when we get around to adding Steam achievements, you'll get an achievement for completing all the bosses with just ducks. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun doing that.
Or a lot of pain.
Then there's the laser rifle. Don't know if any of you guys have any ideas for anything else that we could print off.
I mean, there's loads of things you could print off, but I think we really want to focus it and make it collectible.
Well, like maybe we could do the crawler, then the stalker.
Yeah,
then the
we can do
hunter,
all the enemies.
then-
It just
yeah.
depends on what's popular and what we want to make collectible. So finally, moving on, what are we most excited about for the future of the game?
So I'll take that one first. In the past week, we've been looking at solutions for the terrain for our level design, and in our investigation process, we've come across a piece of software called Houdini, which I'm personally really excited to get to grips with. It looks like a really powerful tool that we can definitely make use of to make our terrain definitely.
What games have used this software before?
So, in my investigative process, when I was looking into it, some of the standout names that stood out to me were Far Cry and also the Ghost Recon Wildlands game. And they also use the software for film series as well.
So yeah, it's a really professional tool, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about you guys? What are you guys excited for?
You want to go first, or?
You wanna go?
I'm very excited for the animation, to be honest. Like, obviously, I'm the one doing it, and once I'm getting used to it, the actual reload animations, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for if we're gonna have any randomizations. So, like, not just one idle animation, maybe 2, 3, and then randomize it for whichever one. The main thing I'm excited for is the actual animations for the enemies. So, might be a bit goofy, but I'm excited to mess around with that and actually fix any possible weight painting issues. But I'm excited for the animation is my point.
Yeah.
And more content for the game. Like if we're adding more like the actual looting, the way you actually progress through the game is what I'm excited for.
I want to say that I'm most excited for all the content we'll be adding, especially the duck. But that's something that I worked on, so maybe I'm biased, but I'm excited for that.
You modeled it as well.
I did model it.
Yeah.
What about you, Hamza?
I'm excited about the marketing. I'm excited to show off what our game is, excite potential players, and also to give out some of our keychains and collectibles.
For free or?
Well,
We can send them out as part of our test kits,
Yeah, sure.
which you'll find available on our website.
Yes.
What are you excited for, Brian?
I'm looking forward to working with Adam in Houdini. On top of that, looking into level design and
Are you excited to work with nodes again for level design?
I'm interested in seeing what I can traverse over from my knowledge of Blender nodes to Houdini nodes. So I am quite intrigued with what similarities they may have.
I think that's it. I think we'll call it a wrap. Thank you for listening to our devlog.
For
And we'll see you next week.
Yep.